What's going on, everybody, and welcome into the Browns Report. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and coming up on today's show, we got more news about Shedeur's injury per Kevin Stefanski himself. We'll tell you how serious it really is. Then, is Dillon Gabriel going to be the starting quarterback? We'll get into if I think that's good, bad for the Cleveland Browns, why or why not. And finally, Denzel Ward did something against the Eagles in joint practice that's going to make your jaw drop. You're going to go, wow. I'll show you a pic, and we'll get into that. But first, ladies and gentlemen, smash that subscribe button, please. We are almost at 50K. We just eclipsed 49,000. You guys are the best for that. 975 more, and we'll be at 50,000 subs. That's massive. Please smash that subscribe button right now. Getting into the update. First one, Shedeur Sanders did not practice Thursday due to that oblique injury. We somewhat knew that would be the case, but we got more of a development on it from Coach Kevin Stefanski. He said this morning, when it's a quarterback, you kind of need that muscle to throw. So unfortunately, and this is the big one, going to put him down here for a little bit. We'll treat it day-to-day and see how he responds, but want to be smart because he's a thrower, so you can't push that. I actually like that Stefanski is being cautious with the injury. Could that mean that he liked what he saw from Shedeur against Carolina and doesn't want to rush him back into anything too serious? Because like he said, the oblique injury, if you rotate while you're throwing as a quarterback, you use that muscle a lot. So it doesn't seem too serious because of the words like day-to-day, unlikely to play. He's not automatically been ruled out of any action. So while we don't think we'll see Shedeur this Saturday, the words like day-to-day mean it's not too bad. And here's another promising look. Shedeur was out there today on the field, in uniform, in his jersey, doing a little bit of running, jogging, a little bit of handing off. Again, no throwing right now because, like Stefanski said, we don't want to rush that oblique injury. The quarterback's going to need it. But him just being out there is a decent sign, moving well. I think the Browns are treating this with caution, which is honestly something I'm impressed about. It says Shedeur doesn't need to prove a ton more right now. Let's see what all the other quarterbacks in the room can do, particularly Dillon Gabriel, who will likely start this Saturday. We'll get into that more, but I think it's promising. A promising update from Stefanski on Shedeur. I do want y'all's opinion in the comment, though. Would you shut down Sanders for the rest of this preseason just to make sure everything's okay? Type Y for yes in the comments if you would. Type N for no if you're like, I need to see him one more time before we get into the season. Personally, I don't think he'll be shut down for the rest of preseason, Browns fans. Do not worry. I think at least the final game of the preseason we could see Shedeur get in. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Another thing Stefanski said was that everything is on the table for this Saturday, okay? So Gabriel's not the definite starter. Pickett was limited in practice. The only healthy quarterback that isn't Flacco, who they're trying to save, is Tyler Huntley. So the Browns don't actually know who's going to start this Saturday against the Eagles, and Stefanski's saying it could be anybody. Pickett could start. Gabriel could start. They could sign a seventh quarterback, and then I'm going to freak out on the show because everyone's going to be memeing the Cleveland Browns if they have 7 quarterbacks in that room. I mean, for God's sake, they have 6, and it feels like none of them are healthy. But the most likely case is Dillon Gabriel will be the starter this Saturday versus the Eagles. So, personally, I'm intrigued to see that, right? Gabriel was the quarterback drafted before Shedeur Sanders, and Sanders got all the media attention, right? Let's take a look at some of the achievements from Dillon Gabriel and why I think he'll be the starter. First off, his hamstring is feeling better. He said that in a press conference, and he also got reps with the 2s today. Flacco kept running with the 1s, and as I said, Pickett is still limited. So it seems like the most likely option is Gabriel's feeling a little bit better, and they're trying to save Flacco for week 1, so we'll probably see Dillon this Saturday. A little bit more on Dillon Gabriel. What could you expect? Well, they say he's a little undersized, 5'11", 205. A lot of analysts are saying that he can't really see the field as well because of his size. But that doesn't dismiss everything he did in college football. Currently, he's the all-time leader in total touchdowns in the FBS. And he was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. Drafted in the 3rd round by Cleveland, the 5th quarterback taken off the board, 94th overall. So, personally, I'm excited to see DG out there. But will that really be the case? Gabriel said, I have no clue what will happen. He said this today, Thursday. The game's in 2 days, and we don't know who's starting. Stefanski declined to name a starter. Gabriel says, I don't know. Pickett's limited. Well, somebody's got to know. I mean, the game's coming up. Personally, like I said, I think it'll be DG. And if that's the case, are you guys excited about that? Smash that like button. We got to give DG some respect. We've been hyping up Shedeur, at least I have on this show, but that's because I think Shedeur's the real deal with talent. I don't know what we're going to get with Gabriel. I had Shedeur evaluated higher than Gabriel pre-draft, but the Browns disagreed with me. They took Gabriel before him in the third. So smash that like button if you're excited to see. The word I would use is intrigued. Like, I'm genuinely curious to see how Dillon plays. Something you'll be excited about, Browns fans? Denzel Ward is back. The Warden, baby. He has been locking up Eagles wide receivers in the joint practices. This is a play that we saw against Devonta Smith that's going to get you like, wow. I bumped it on the show. Get ready. Ward is honestly underrated, in my opinion, in the league. Like, a lot of people give him respect, but they don't talk about him as the absolute best corner in football. We'll get to that. Here he is, back of the end zone with Devonta Smith one-on-one. So the pink gloves, those are Devonta Smith's hands, right? Do you see the black glove in between Devonta Smith and the football? Guess what happens on this play? Ward gets in there, knocks the football out, incomplete. Incredible. This guy's amazing, and I think that we need to start hyping him up more because the Ward is back. He looks like he's going to be healthy, and what a sick play. Everybody in the Browns camp was hyped about it. And Grant Delpit, his teammate, this is what he said about Ward afterwards. Denzel really doesn't get enough notoriety. When you bring up top 5 corners, top 3 corners in the league, Denzel's top 2. If you just cut the tape on, you could see this day in and day out. And I know that for a fact because not a lot of people could play like Ward. Browns fans, that fires me up. We have one of the best quarterbacks in football. Not only one of the best, but I think he has a case for best corner in the league, right? The only one you could tell me is better is maybe Pat Surtain. Understandable. I'd put Christian Gonzalez in the mix, Sauce Gardner in the mix, Derek Stingley Jr. of the Texans, really good young corner. But Ward has a case for best corner in the league. Like, we should be covering more in the media about Denzel Ward. Like I said, he has a real case for number 1. I'd probably put him 2 right now if you had to ask me, but he's got sticky coverage. He can man on any other receiver in the league. Like, you tell me Denzel Ward is guarding any other receiver in football, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with him being one-on-one. Sure, maybe we'll have a little bit of safety help back there, but when the Browns do want to play man and blitz, I'm fine with Ward being the one there. Not many corners in the league you could say that about. We've kind of got away from the shutdown corner in the NFL, right? You know, we don't really have guys like Revis and Sherman who would track the opponent's best receiver, you know? Now you kind of line up in your position, and like I said, you know, it wasn't necessarily Ward was playing A.J. Brown. He'll get reps on Smith. They switch it up. But he's about as close as you can be to lockdown corner in the NFL. And like I said, has a case for the best. So let me know in the comments, Brownies, where would you rank Denzel Ward as a CB in the league right now? Are you putting him top 5, top 3, or is he number 1 for number 21? I think he's got a real case. If you made it to the end of the show, you are a real one, and we appreciate you being here. Please go ahead, drop me a follow on X. My @ is JoeyO70, and we'll keep giving you daily Browns content, the real news, the real insight, and chopping it up and watching football all season long. We'll catch you next time.